So the STFU Ultimate Fantasy Football Podcast, information for the people. We've got some information today. But Bucky and I are having difficulty deciphering between why some things are called for penalties and some things are not called for penalties. Case in point, the Sunday night game, Jets almost hanging on to beat the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes makes that 28-yard run or whatever on 3rd and 22. And if you go back and watch, you can see the blatant hold of the offensive lineman. That one was egregious. That one was absolutely terrible. No one in their right mind will look at that play and say he did not hold. But the interception where Sauce Gardner had the ball picked off and the ball was already intercepted and tossed over where Michael Carter picked it up before they threw the flag. How? How is that? How can you wait until after the flag is thrown? Like, that's the kind of stuff that me and Shady been hollering about for years that happened to the Saints. And now it's starting to happen to other people. It's not what they throw a flag for. It's when they throw it.
When they throw it.
Go back and look at the Super Bowl.
And then they try to make it up on
that's right.
At a time where, we'll give them an interference call now. Well, it doesn't matter now.
Nope. It doesn't matter at all.
For some reason, they can't clue into that.
I always like to tell people Matthew Stafford had 11 chances to get the Rams a touchdown to go up in the Super Bowl against the Bengals for 58 minutes plus. That was a great called game. They let them play. And then all of a sudden the referees decided, oh, okay, we need to make sure that this happened, that happened. I don't like it. I've never liked it. And now Buck is having difficulty. What are you trying to decipher between Buck, the horse collar and what?
So the poor Geno Smith in the second quarter was out of bounds. Here's another call that was not, it was blatant. And Geno got hot about it. I don't blame him.
He should have.
What's the difference between the horse collar and the hip drop? Now, for those of you who watch the game, the hip drop is when a horse collar is when they grab the back of the shoulder pads and pull them down, which has caused many, many injuries. And I think it's a good thing that the NFL did to ban that because, the guys, so many bad things can go wrong as far as injury. The hip drop is a similar thing where you don't actually grab the back of the shoulder pads. You can still grab the jersey and you come down on the back. You use your hip to bring the guy down and you come down on the back of their legs, which Isaiah Simmons did. And Geno was hot about it. And they asked him after the game, because you saw him come up and he was hot. And I don't blame him. And he said, you know what? I don't respect that type of stuff. You know what I mean? There's no use for that type of stuff. It's a hard-fought game out there. We're all battling, but no need to take shots at guys running out of bounds on the sidelines. No flag. And he missed the rest of the game. He came back in briefly, but he and they had have x-rays done. They really haven't said, but he says he's going to be fine, but it could have been bad. And guess who? They were trying to make it legal, and they were trying to move that the hip drop into the same category during the offseason, trying to vote on that. You know who was the pioneer, ironically enough, that was not wanting that to become the equivalent to a horse collar?
Pete Carroll. What?
Close. Richard Sherman.
Oh, well, of course.
Did that surprise you?
Richard Sherman. No.
Thank you.
No, it doesn't.
Nasty cheater. But anyway.
But hey.
That's an unfortunate thing, and it just ties in. Not only is that something that needs to be banned, I do agree, because I want him to play football too. You know how you and I always talk about this.
Right. But we don't want people to get hurt.
And what's the difference? There's no difference between that and the horse collar. Not a damn bit of difference except where you're grabbing the guy.
Yep.
But it's still dragging him from behind, and it still causes serious injury.
Yep.
And he did it out of bounds.
See, and the whole out of bounds thing, that should be, dude,
Am I insane here?
But again, you know that I'm a big conspiracy theorist, so I think that the NFL likes to have control. Like I said, it's not what they throw, it's when they throw.
Dude, like we talked about that Grady Jarrett tackle, how many times last year?
Yep.
Atlanta's going to get the ball back. We're running all over the precious Tom Brady's Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and you can't touch Tom Brady. And Grady Jarrett held himself, rolled so he wouldn't hurt the guy.
Yep.
And they caused a penalty that potentially cost us the game. And then they tried to give us a holding call later. Who cares? That only makes it look worse.
I hate it, son. Yeah.